Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity, while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shah's return. And as always, I would like to give double honors to our apostles and elders of great millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And welcome to another series of quick and important information being brought to you by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. U.S. has Iran war plan, as you see right here. The United States has Iran war plan, okay? And, we all know that there's no such thing as a free will. Every move that every person makes on this planet is based upon what the Lord had pre-programmed them to do, especially in their sleep, okay? And a matter of fact, we come over here to Job. So you got people who say, well, this is never going to happen, and this, therefore, from the other. Well, let's see what Job 33, verse 15 has to say about this. Okay? It says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed. So, in other words, while you are asleep, this is what the Lord is doing to you. Verse 16. Okay. Verse 16. Then he, who's the he? That's talking about God. Then Yahweh openeth the ears of men, meaning he's programming your mind. He's programming your mind as to what you're going to do before you wake up. Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. So no such thing as free will. So the reason why the U.S. has an Iran war plan, because really the Lord is putting it in their minds to fulfill his will, as it is written in Revelation 17 verse 17. Okay, so this Iran war plan is not really their plan. It's really the plan of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, you see. Devised under Trump, the document may be what's guiding the latest increase in joint military exercises with Israel, according to The Intercept, okay? And I pray America does not last that long. I hope I hope Babylon the Great, which is America, the United States of America is not around that long, okay? Because they're talking about how by 2024, Trump said that if he gets back in office, there'll be guillotines, which Biden could be setting the stages for Trump to get back in office. Because if Trump gets back in office, I'm just going to tell you right now, hell is going to break loose for you Israelites living here in America, okay? But again, in the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11, it says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for our salvation is nearer than when we believed. So this could very well be the year that Yahweh Shai comes back. This could be the year that we start to see miracles. Because if this is the year of all the prophecies coming to pass, Lord's will, then that means that we're going to be seeing miracles as well, because miracles are a part of the prophecies that are written in the Holy Scriptures. So, again, if Trump got back in office, a lot of things will happen. Guillotines, shoot execution squads. The U.S. Iran war plan, because they're already conducting joint military exercises with those them so-called Israelis. Okay, they're already conducting joint military exercises with those so-called Israelis. So we just have to wait and see how it all plans out. Down here it says the Pentagon developed a conceptual plan for war with Iran during the presidency of Donald Trump. You see that? During the presidency of Donald Trump. The Intercept has reported citing budgetary documents. The document is one of several indications of Washington's increased hawkishness towards Tehran, the outlet argued. And we cannot forget how last year I did some research where the United States reportedly had 50,000 plus troops stationed on the borders of Iran conducting military exercises. Now, they wasn't anywhere near the city, more as like out in the desert like areas of Iran conducting those military drills. So we come over here, right? Jeremiah 50:45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon. Okay? And we know that according to Bible prophecy, we know Babylon to be the United States of America. And what really gave away that Babylon is the United States of America is the book of Revelation. Okay? The book of Revelation. Because it speaks about a great whore, speaks about a great city, because when John the Revelator wrote about this Babylon in the book of Revelation, we know that ancient Babylon was already destroyed by then. Ancient Babylon was already destroyed back then. So what Babylon was John the Revelator talking about when he wrote about this other Babylon? He was speaking of the United States of America. And that's how we're able to tie Babylon, modern day Babylon, which is the United States of America, to Babylon in the Old Testament. Okay? Now during Jeremiah's time, because Jeremiah the prophet was actually alive during the Babylonian captivity, the ancient Babylonian captivity. But you see, we can also use this Babylon right here in Jeremiah and to describe the Babylon that's also mentioned in Revelation. So this is the counsel that the Lord has taken against the United States of America, which is Babylon, and his purposes that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. The ancient Chaldeans were known for what? Sorcery, witchcraft, committing all kinds of blood sacrifices and rituals. That was the ancient Babylon, the ancient Chaldeans. Now, who's doing that in today's time? Sounds familiar? Yeah, the Illuminati. These are your modern day Chaldeans. They are the ones performing witchcraft and rituals and blood sacrifices and You know, the Illuminati consists of witches and warlocks and witchcraft. You see? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's the least of the flock? Who's going around telling the world they are the flock of the Lord? The so-called Israelis, right? And when you come over here, you scroll up, and what do you see? You see, devised under Trump, the document may be what's guiding the latest increase in joint military exercises with who? The so-called Israelis. You see? So the least of the flock is talking about those so-called Israelis. So surely the least of the flock, the so-called Israelis, shall draw them out. Shall draw out who? The Babylonians, the United States of America. Draw them out into what? Into their confrontation with Iran, because this whole escalation with the so-called Israelis and Iran is really going to be because of the so-called Israelis and their constant harassment towards Iran. So what's going to happen is that, because we all know Iran is not going to comply with the so-called Israelis. They're not going to do that. So you know what's going to happen? You know, there's always going to be some kind of cover story or some kind of propaganda. You know, Iran did this, Iran did that, and the so-called Israelis, they're going to justify themselves in attacking Iran. So they're going to go into Iran first, and when that happens, they're going to draw the United States of America, which is Babylon, you know, Babylon the Great, into their confrontation against Iran, which is going to lead to further escalation of World War III, which is going to lead to Russia stepping in, because once the United States of America attacks Iran, that's the breaking point for Russia. They're going to step in. They're going to go into Iran. They're going to attack the United States of America, and then NATO is going to step in, because they are an ally of the United States of America. And you know, NATO is that's a great country right there. Okay, so because of NATO stepping in to defend the United States of America, China is going to step in, and China and Turkey are going to step in, because China and Turkey are going to be allies of the United States of America, especially Turkey. Okay, Turkey is already siding with Russia, seeking to get on good terms with Russia. So Turkey, which is going to be an ally of Russia in those days, they are going to join forces to help Russia and China against the United States, NATO, and those so-called Israelis. And because of China and Turkey stepping in, guess what? Germany is going to step in, because they are an ally of the United States of America, NATO, and those so-called Israelis. So if Germany steps in, guess what? North Korea is going to step in. You see, India is going to step in, because they are allies of the United States of America. So, you know, no. India and North Korea are going to step in, because they are allies of Russia. You know, excuse me there. They are allies of Russia. You know, and just like that, you know, you're going to have all the world superpowers involved over there in this big war, which is ultimately going to be what? World War III. Because World War II was about what? Major great superpower countries all going to war against one another. Okay? World War I. Okay? That World War I happened between Germany, Spain, Russia. Russia was also involved. Okay? You know, Britain was involved. Okay? The United States was involved. You see? You know, World War II was pretty much all of the countries you know, we had Japan in there, we had China in there, we had Turkey, the United States, Germany was in there, Russia was in there. You see, but this time in World War III, it's going to be all of the major superpower countries that are nuclear capable. Okay, on top of Libya and Gomer being joined with them. Okay, and Persia being joined into the fray. But you know, these wars, which is going to start off as wars fought with tanks, jets, warplanes, drones, high-tech weapons, ground troops, MRAPs, you know, laser guns, rail guns, you know, whatever. The war is going to start off with these. It's going to start off being fought with these kind of weapons, right? But then, inevitably, it's going to escalate into a nuclear war, and the nuclear war is what we're waiting on. So during the nuclear war, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, because when a country is hit by something as powerful as an atomic bomb or a nuke, that area is left as a desert, which a desert is basically a desolate wilderness, you see. So during World War III, nukes are going to be shut off. And the main target of the nuclear war is going to be the United States of America and the so-called Israelis. Okay. So when it says, surely he shall make the habitation desolate with him, that's talking about that the land of Israel is going to be as a desolate wilderness, because that land is going to be hit with nukes. But America is going to be hit with 200 million nuclear warheads. On top of the chariots shooting lasers on this place, making this place desolate. You see? So surely he shall make their habitation desolate, a desert. So the land of Israel is going to be a desolate wilderness after being hit with nukes, and America is going to be desolate along with them after being hit with 200 million nuclear warheads, which is going to come via intercontinental ballistic missiles, which can carry up to hundreds of nuclear warheads at a time. Okay? Because a nuclear warhead don't have to be the size of a house. A nuclear warhead can be about the size of a vehicle. Now, if you've seen how big an intercontinental ballistic missile was, you'd be like, oh shit. You know? And there's some nuclear warheads are smaller than vehicles. So yeah, an intercontinental ballistic missile can carry up to at least over 100 nuclear warheads. So yeah, this whole U.S. has Iran war plan. Hey, make it happen, man, because it's already prophesied for you to do so. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. It's on to the next one.